Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm doing an update. I'm doing a bunch of updates, so you might notice I'm in the same outfit as another Project Pan update. But I'm doing an update for the Pie Pen and Everything challenge that I'm working on, and I've got some pretty weird stuff to share with you guys about this one. Not really weird, but like there's going to be some changes, and I'll explain why in a moment. So let me start with the things that are not going to be changing, basically. One of the shades I was working on last time, as you know, if you watched the first video, was this shade in the Tarte BU palette, this one right here. As you can see, not a ton of progress. I think I only reached for it maybe once this month. I don't know, I just wasn't feeling like these warm tone looks in the middle of winter, I guess. So I feel like this next month of using this, I'm going to start swatching so that you can see my choices at the end of this. This one really matches my skin tone, so it's really hard to see, but it's on there. You just can't really see it. Actually, I had some gray on my finger and now it's looking not right. But anyway, yeah. So I just didn't really reach for this palette all that much this month, unfortunately. So it didn't get a ton of use. I'm going to try and see if that changes in the springtime. I think it will. But that is the first one that is going to be staying in the project again for this next month. It's on there. It's just really hard to see. Next is this shade from the Quo Beauty palette in Tinsel. This one right here. Again, didn't really reach for this palette a ton this month. I don't really have an explanation why. I just didn't. I don't know. I still like it. I'm going to swatch this one right next to the other one. This is still like a really beautiful, shimmery, glittery kind of shade, as you can see there. So I'm hoping to get more use out of it this month. Next is the Urban Vices, this purple shade here. I did actually use this one a couple times. I'm actually using it today. But I don't know if it was enough to really notice a change in the dip that's in that shadow. So haven't hit pan obviously, so I will be continuing with that one. Let us just swatch that one as well. It's a really pretty purple. I love it. I just put it on top of another matte purple today, so it's a little bit hard to see exactly what it looks like, but yep, it's on there. And then the Juvia's Place, it's gotten a little dusty. I believe it was this shade. Again, I haven't even used this month. I don't know why, you guys. Like, I really didn't do very well in this project so far, even though I chose them myself, which is a little disappointing, but hopefully next month will be a little better. So this one's staying in, of course. Haven't hit pan on that. It's a newer palette in my collection, so I'm not really surprised that that one's sticking around. But here's where some of the changes happened. So essentially I had that basic white shade, and I always have to adjust this shirt. I had that basic white shade and the sort of taupey gray shade in this palette. But what I have done, as you can see, this palette looks very different now. And that is because I did hit pan on In the Buff, which is the one I was working on. But then I noticed I had a lot of other shadows in my collection that were almost the exact same color. Like, swatching them, they looked identical. So I decided to mix them together and then repress them into this pan. So now it looks like I don't have pan in there. That's because I added to it, basically. But I did hit pan on it, so I can roll it out. Same with Like a Virgin, which was the other one. Same exact situation happened where I hit pan on it, and then I noticed that I had a lot of other shades in my collection that were exactly the same. So I combined them and repressed them in there. In fact, I think it's taking up 2 pans in here right now, the same color, just because I had so much after I combined all of the exact same shades together. Just in like different formulas and stuff. Like I had a Sephora shadow that looked identical, and they were all matte and stuff too. So like they were literal identical like dupes. So I mixed all the dupes and repressed them in there. This one was almost completely empty, so I replaced it with another sort of shade from another palette, just because I like the size of this palette. I like reaching for it because it's small, and I had a couple shades in like a big palette that I thought I would get more use out of them if they were in a small palette like this. So basically those two shades I was working on in the buff and Like a Virgin, I did hit pan on both of them. So they're both getting rolled out anyway, but I just wanted to update you because it's not gonna look like I did that because I did repress them. And I should have done an update before I repressed them. I just didn't think about it, so it is what it is. You'll have to just trust me. And then next is the small shade in this CoverGirl palette. This is gonna look different to you as well because this bottom shade here, that's actually the spot where the little sponge applicator used to be, which I don't use. And so I just turned it into a pan. I just repressed like a really pale shade that I had in a bigger palette because I thought I'd get more use out of it again if it's in a small palette that I reach for more often. But that wasn't the shade I was working on anyway. It was this corner shade. And I did use this a few times. Not enough to hit pan on. There is a dip, if I can get the camera to grab onto that. I don't know if it will. Come on, camera. Oh, I don't know. But anyways, it's very small. It's a very small dip, so I will still be working on that one for another month. So let's watch that next to the others. I'll put it on the end here. That was a terrible swatch. That was my fault though. It's a really nice shade actually. So those are the 5 that are staying in the project. 6, 7 in here. And then what am I forgetting? Let me pause and just go back and check what I'm forgetting here. Okay, sorry about that. I'm back. I just remembered the last shade that I haven't talked about was a highlighter, and same situation kind of happened where I depotted that, mixed it with another almost identical shade, and then repressed it. So I had not hit pan on it though, so I don't know. I'm still gonna roll it out just because it doesn't look like it did before. I don't even have it anymore to show you. But it was that champagne highlighter kind of shade. So yeah, so I will be rolling out 3 of the 8, and these are the 5 that are remaining. If you can see those there, it's hard. Those light colors really don't show up well on my skin. But yeah, actually, let's see if it helps if I turn this extra light on. Helps a little bit, but yeah, so I'll be picking 3 more for the pie challenge for this month. Man, this shirt is frustrating. It always rides up, and it's supposed to be an off the shoulder, but I have no shoulders, so it doesn't really work on me. But anyway, okay. Got some crumbling happening. Hang on a second. All right. So I'm going to pause again. Sorry, I just paused, but I'm going to pause again and pick 3 more shades that complement these to continue on with the challenge. So I will be right back. Okay, so I did pick up a new palette recently, and so the next shade's going to be out of this new palette. It is the NYX Mystic Petals collection. It is the Dark Mystic palette, and there is a beautiful shade in there that kind of is like a light purpley, kind of duochrome-ish shade. It's the one right here, and it's really, really pretty. I think it'll go well with the whole purple scheme I got going on. So I'm going to swatch that one as well. It's kind of got like pink undertones to it, I guess. It's, yeah, it's definitely duochrome. It's gonna be hard to show up on camera, but it's kind of like pink with blue, like baby blue reflex, which gives it a kind of purple vibe. So it's hard to see. I'm pretty sure in the last video I was like, I'm not gonna swatch it on my arm in this spot. And then I just continued and did that anyway. Let's see. Come on. Okay, you can kind of see it. But yeah, it's the bottom one there. So that's going to be the one I'm adding, and it does work really well with the other purples that I have in there. Like those 4 at the bottom, the white, light purple, dark purple, and then this NYX one, all go really, really well together. So I think that's going to be a really good one to work with. And then I'm going into another new palette I bought, which is the City Mini palette by Maybelline. These are both drugstore palettes, but I just got them, so I kind of want to work with them. I'm really feeling these 2 shades right here. This is like a burgundy, and this is like kind of a mauvey pink color. And I thought they work really nicely together, so I thought I'll throw both of those in as the last 2 shades. So I will swatch those for you. This light one probably won't show up on my skin tone very much. Let's see, how can I'll keep it to more at the outer side so you can see it a little better. Now, because these are drugstore, they're not like super pigmented, they are more buildable, so I'm gonna have to sort of layer on the swatch here. But yeah, that color is actually looking really nice with the NYX one as well, like as a nice base matte color. And then the darker one, I'll just swatch right beside it. Yeah, I've just really been feeling like doing some more burgundy kind of eye looks. And so I wanted to have that as an option. So there's the burgundy one right below it. So those are my shades for this month's round. And I'm not going to be messing around this time with like repressing stuff. Like I'm putting a hold on that until, you know, for a long time, because it's just screwing around with all my projects, and I didn't think of that when I did it. And now I'm like, oh man, now I have to explain this and like explain why these shades disappeared, and like it's just being like kind of a hassle. So I'm not going to be screwing around with these. They're going to stay in the palettes they're in. They're going to stay as they are while I work through them for this month. So next month's update will be a little bit easier to understand. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys for this update. If you like this style of video, I do a lot of project pans on my channel, so hit the subscribe button, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Okay, bye guys.